Hi everybody, Lene with Bloom Feather Studio here, and today let's paint some roses. Last time we did roses that were 3/4 view. They looked like this, bunch of different ones. And today I wanted to paint open roses, like so you can see the top of them, kind of like you're looking straight down. And so I was practicing a little bit. This is what I worked on today. And so let's get started. So my supplies are, I'm going to be working with two colors, Viridian, and this is a Cotman. I'm sure that the Winsor Newton Professional would be better than the Cotman, but this is what I have right now. And then quinacridone magenta from Daniel Smith. Okay. And this is what they look like together. So here's the magenta here, and then the quinacridone, and then in the middle it makes a beautiful gray, sometimes purple color. And we're going to be using like separate and mixed up together. Okay, and here's my palette. So you can see the quinacridone is over here and the Viridian's over here, and then we'll do some mixing in the middle. And then I also want to use some lemon yellow. So if you have any lemon, here's the lemon I'll be using. But whatever lemon yellow you have, you can use. Okay. My brush is a filbert brush. It's Princeton Select, and it's a 3/4 inch filbert. So let me show you. So that filbert means that it's rounded, it's flat, and it's rounded at the top. So it makes nice petals. Okay, so let's get started. On my paper, I have 3 circles. I just drew those just to show you kind of the shape and the placement of the flowers. Okay, so to start, I'm going to dip my brush in a lot of water, and then get some quinacridone magenta on my brush. And then I'm just gonna start by kind of making a pinwheel shape. So like that. Okay, so you see that? And it's pretty light, so I'm gonna get some more color and just kind of dab it in there. I'm actually going to add another layer a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. So it looks kind of like a square in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do that with the other 2 flowers. Oops, that's too light. Just kind of move around the circle, making a pinwheel shape. Okay, and over here, same thing. Okay, so we've got the center. I'm going to go through and kind of dab a little extra color here to make them all look the same. Pull it through. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit more here. Just like that, maybe. And then here. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to leave that. Now I'm going to clean off my brush really well. I'm going to take some yellow. So make sure your brush is pretty cleaned and not too wet. Grab some yellow. So in the middle, I'm going to make just kind of a star shape, maybe like a, you just kind of add some color in the middle. Oops, that's bringing in a lot of the, it's okay if it bleeds a little bit. We can always add some more yellow later. Okay, so I'm just kind of making some yellow in the middle. Okay. Now we're gonna let that dry a little bit. Just gonna let that sit. And then while we're waiting, we can add some leaves. So I'm gonna take some of the Viridian, but the Viridian is super bright. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna take Viridian, but I'm gonna make sure it has some of the pink in it, because otherwise it's way too bright. So I got some of the green, and I'm gonna look in between here is where I want to add leaves. Here, here, and maybe a little bit down here. So I'm gonna start with my leaves, and I'm just gonna go like that, make a curve, and then bring it around that way, and then you can bring another one around this way, like that. Okay, add a little bit to it, and then maybe do another one curving, pointing in this direction. So you notice I'm leaving space here because we're gonna expand the flower. So leaving some space here, okay? I like my leaves in sets of 3. So I'm gonna go here. Like that, okay? Maybe I'll make this one a little further out. Okay. I like how there's yellow coming in there, so I'm just gonna leave that. Maybe add a little yellow to the tips of the other ones. Okay. Make this, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna go over here and turn this a little bit and add some leaves here. This time I'm gonna start a little bit further out. You can see this. Okay. Add a leaf here. And one over here. Maybe a little color here. Add a leaf here. Okay. Add a little bit of yellow to that. I'm going to turn it back. Add a little yellow to this. This one's really pretty. I like how it is, but I'm going to add some yellow to these here. Okay. And then I'm going to grab some pretty heavy magenta color, and I'm going to add a little bit to the base of the leaves. Like that. Just to give it some of the rose color. You don't have to do that, but I like to let my colors bleed. So I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow here. Play with the color a little bit. Okay, so now let's let this dry a little bit. And when it's dry, we'll come back in and add some more layers. So okay, so I waited a while for it to dry, probably like 10 minutes. It's really humid today, so it took a while. There's still a couple of wet parts here and here, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these. So we're gonna add a second lighter layer of color around the roses. So I'm gonna dip my brush in water and then just get a little bit of color, and let me just see how this looks like. Yeah, so much lighter. Yeah, okay. So, and then we're gonna go around another time around the flowers. So we're gonna do like starting here, kind of, you can pinwheel it or you can do like shorter, that. So see how I kind of start in the V area of the flower and just add some petals like this. And so I'm using the side of my brush. If you use the flat part, you get a much wider petal. So I like to use the side part. So let's see, I'm gonna add something here. Oop, that's a little dark. Where's my paper towel? And just kind of take a little color off that. There we go. It's so dark. I'm going to try and take a little bit of this color off here. So I'm just using a dry brush, trying to pull the color and then dabbing it onto the paper towel. Okay. So now we need to wait for that to dry. When we do that, I'm going to play with the leaves a little bit more. Maybe add some greenery in between the roses. Actually, I'm going to add some leaves coming out here. I'm going to turn it around. Okay. Let's say I like to go like kind of in a curved direction with leaves. Like that. Maybe one up here. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little yellow to the tips. A little pink to the where it gets close to the flower. Just going to add a little darker color here to the sides of the leaves. So grab some. There we go. Add a little color here. Just going to add color in between the roses. Gonna add a leaf peeking out there. Maybe something here. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. A little too much green right here. So I'm just gonna take that off. And then add a little yellow. Add a little pink. Ooh, that's a lot of pink. Grab some of that. Well, maybe I'll leave it. Let's add a little bit more yellow. There. Okay, now again, we need to wait for this to dry. Take a little bit of this off. Add some green. Okay. And again, I'm going to wait for this to dry. Okay, this is pretty much dry. And we could just leave this here. It's pretty. Or we can add another layer. So it's up to you if you want to leave it the way it is or you want to add another layer. So we can do a couple of things. We could add a lighter, kind of more purpley layer, and you would get that by using the green and the pink together. And you come up with purple. I'll show it to you. Let me just here. See how like the green and the pink together kind of make a purpley color. So you could kind of go around the outside of it with a very pale, I'll show you. So you could put your brush in water and make sure it's doesn't have a lot of moisture, and you get like this pinkish purplish color. You see that? That's even here. I'm gonna dab it off on my towel. Show you. That's even too dark, so keep taking the color off. It has something on it. Yeah, so kind of get it mostly dry, and you can go around and make even like more of a layer on it. Or so you can do that, or and I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to grab some darker pink, some really, really intense pink. And I'm going to go around and make it a little more intense. Okay? So I'm going to focus more on the middle, kind of like these ones. These are just practice here. So do you see how there's like more intense marks, paintbrush strokes around the middle? So I'm going to do that and see what happens. Okay. So you don't have to follow, or you don't want to follow exactly what you did. Sometimes I like to look at my white spaces. Like there's a lot of white space here. Maybe I'll cover that up. Some white space here. So I kind of try to not to follow too much what I've done before. Like I don't want to paint like exactly over top of what I've done. I want to do something a little different. So I'm going to do one here, there, you see I kind of zigzagged a little bit, so I put one here and then here, there, there. Then I'm going to get closer to the middle here. Like that. Maybe something here. There we go. Okay. That's good. And less is more. We can always go back and do more. So I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to do this guy. Let's start here, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to go to this one in the middle. So this one kind of looks like it's still pointing at you, but a little bit angled toward that side, and this one's a little angled toward this side. So this one maybe I'll try to leave kind of in the middle. So I'm going to start here. Like that maybe. That looks good. Okay, so here's what we have. Okay, and you can also, so you can go in and add some other interesting elements. Like for this one, this is a little intense yellow. I don't really like it, but you could add like kind of like fronds, you know, where you just with the side of your brush again, you're just always working on with the side of your brush, and you can make like little extra fronds. I think I'm going to leave this like this. Okay. Maybe add one more stroke here. Like that. Okay. I'm going to leave this alone before I ruin it. If you have any questions, please leave me comments and I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. You can also Instagram me. You can message me on Instagram at Bloom Feather Studio and let me know if you have any questions. All right. Hope you have a great day. Have fun painting and show me what you've done. Bye-bye.